Have you ever walked confidently into a room, stopped dead in the middle of the doorway, looked around at the furniture, and asked yourself, "What on earth did I come in here for?" If you are nodding your head right now, I want you to take a deep breath and relax. You are not alone. In fact, if I had $1 for every time I've done that exact same thing this month, I could probably take my grandchildren out for a very nice dinner. It's frustrating, isn't it? You stand there feeling a little silly, waiting for your brain to catch up with your feet. You retrace your steps in your mind. You walked out of the kitchen, down the hall, into the bedroom. For what? Your glasses? A book? The TV remote? It's a harmless moment, really, but let's be honest with each other for a second. In that brief, harmless moment, there is a tiny whisper of panic in the back of your mind. We all know what that whisper says. It says, "Is this it? Is this how it starts? Am I losing my memory?" Society has a terrible habit of telling us that after we turn 60, our minds are just destined to slow down. The media paints this bleak picture where retirement is just a waiting room and our cognitive decline is inevitable. And if you go to the doctor or ask a well-meaning younger relative how to keep your brain sharp, they almost always give you the exact same tired piece of advice. They say, "You need to do Sudoku." Or they tell you, "You should download this flashy brain training app on your smartphone. It's only $10 a month." Well, I'm here today to tell you that this advice is not only incredibly frustrating, but for many of us, it might actually be doing more harm than good. Let's talk about Sudoku for a minute. Don't get me wrong, if you have loved numbers your whole life and a complex math puzzle brings you joy, then please keep at it. But for the vast majority of us, staring at a stark grid of empty boxes feels more like sitting down for a stressful high school math exam than enjoying a relaxing afternoon hobby. When you sit down with a Sudoku puzzle and you get stuck on that one elusive number, what happens? Your heart rate goes up slightly, your frustration builds, you start erasing, the paper tears, and suddenly this thing that was supposed to relax you has made you tense. You retire to escape high-stress deadlines, not to manufacture new ones on a piece of cheap newsprint. And those brain training apps? Oh, don't even get me started. I downloaded one last year because my daughter insisted. It felt like I was being interrogated by a robot. There was a countdown timer ticking away in the corner of the screen. Every time I made a mistake, the phone buzzed angrily and a red X flashed at me. It was exhausting. Here's the scientific truth that those app developers don't want you to know. As we age, our brains do not lose their capacity to learn or to think deeply. What changes is our reaction to acute stress. When you play a game with a countdown timer or struggle through a frustrating math puzzle, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. High levels of cortisol actually block your brain's ability to retrieve memories. It literally fogs your brain. So putting yourself under pressure to solve a puzzle in 30 seconds is completely counterproductive. It trains your brain to panic. So if not Sudoku, and if not those stressful mobile games, what is the secret? What is the #1 scientifically backed yet entirely peaceful hobby to keep your cognitive pathways strong and your memory sharp as a tack? The answer is going to surprise you, because it is something you probably haven't thought about since you were much younger. It is a simple, quiet habit that can literally rewire your brain for the better without a single drop of stress. Our brains, especially in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, crave something psychologists call sustained attention in a state of flow. Flow is that magical state where you are completely absorbed in an activity. You aren't stressed, you aren't rushed, but you are highly focused. Your brain waves actually slow down into a calm alpha state. In this beautiful state of flow, your brain creates new neural pathways, a process called neuroplasticity, without the damaging memory-blocking effects of cortisol. We need an activity that requires focus but doesn't punish us for taking our time. An activity that is visually engaging but doesn't involve staring at a glowing blue screen that ruins our sleep. We need an activity that is quiet, tactile, requires zero electricity, and gently forces the brain to practice pattern recognition. The ultimate cognitive hobby for seniors is the classic word search. Now wait a minute. Before you click away or roll your eyes, hear me out. I know exactly what you were thinking. Word searches? Really? Aren't those just simple games they put on the back of children's menus at diners or leave in the waiting rooms of dentist offices? That is the great misconception. Let's look under the hood at what is actually happening inside your brain when you sit down with a high-quality word search. It is a full, comprehensive cognitive workout. First, there's the exercise of visual scanning. When you look at a grid of random letters, your brain has to work incredibly hard to filter out the noise. Filtering out irrelevant information is actually one of the very first cognitive skills that starts to decline as we age. It's the exact same reason why it becomes harder to follow a conversation with a friend in a crowded, noisy restaurant. Your brain struggles to filter out the clattering plates and other voices. By actively scanning a page for a specific word hidden among hundreds of meaningless letters, you are taking that filtering muscle to the gym. Then there is pattern recognition. When you look for the word sunset, you aren't just looking for an S, then a U, then an N. Your brain starts looking for the holistic shape of the word. You are teaching your neurons to quickly identify familiar patterns in a sea of chaos. This translates directly to everyday life, like quickly finding your house keys on a cluttered kitchen table or instantly recognizing a loved one's face in a busy grocery store. Furthermore, there is a tremendous quiet release of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, every single time you find a word. Circle it with your pen and cross it off your list. It provides a gentle, steady stream of satisfaction. There's no ticking timer. There are no flashing red lights telling you that you failed. There is just you, a good pen, a cup of tea, and the deep human satisfaction of finding order within the chaos. But here's the catch, and it is a massive one. Please listen carefully, because this is where most people get it wrong. Not all word searches are created equal. If you go to the local pharmacy or the grocery store checkout line and buy one of those cheap mass-produced puzzle magazines, you might actually do more harm than good. Those books are printed on rough, cheap paper, but worse, they use incredibly small print. Instead of training your brain, you end up severely straining your eyes. You get a headache, you get frustrated, and you give up after 10 minutes, not because your mind is tired, but because your eyes are exhausted. And let's talk about the themes in those cheap books. They're often incredibly boring or completely irrelevant. Searching for a list of different types of industrial plumbing supplies or 50 obscure species of beetles isn't exactly going to lift your spirits. If you're going to spend your precious time doing this, the words you are searching for should mean something. Words have immense power. If you spend 20 minutes focused entirely on uplifting, positive words about nature, wisdom, family, or travel, you're actually priming your brain for a better mood. You need large print, clear layouts, and themes that resonate with the beauty and depth of our stage of life. I was actually looking into this recently, trying to find a high-quality option for my own evening routine. I wanted something that felt like a premium experience, something crafted with dignity and care, specifically for older adults who want to protect their eyesight while sharpening their minds. After a lot of searching, I discovered a fantastic series of books by an author named Solon Voss. Solon Voss designs these incredible word search books that are exactly what I've been talking about. First of all, the print is beautifully large and clear. It is a joy to look at. There is absolutely no eye strain, even if you are just reading by a bedside lamp. The pages are spacious, not cluttered with tiny grids. But the absolute best part is the content itself.
Instead of just random, meaningless words, the Solon Vos puzzles are built around beautiful themes, inspiring quotes, and relaxing concepts. It feels entirely different from a cheap puzzle book. It feels less like a game and much more like a daily mindfulness practice. Imagine this. You finish your dinner, you turn off the television, stepping away from the endless, stressful cycle of the evening news. You brew a cup of herbal tea, you sit in your favorite chair, open a Solon Vos book, and for 20 minutes, the world just slows down. Your brain is actively working, creating new pathways, but your soul is completely at rest. Replacing 20 minutes of anxiety-inducing screen time with 20 minutes of focused, positive pattern recognition is a small change, but over months and years, the compound effect on your cognitive health, your memory, and your overall happiness is truly enormous. It is about taking control of our mental fitness in a way that brings us peace, not stress. We have earned the right to enjoy our days. If you've been feeling a little foggy lately, if you are tired of the stressful apps, or if you just want to proactively protect your wonderful, beautiful mind, I highly recommend giving this a try. Step away from the screens, put down the frustrating Sudoku, pick up a high-quality word search. If you are interested in the books I just mentioned, I have put a link in the description directly below this video to the Solon Vos collection. It's a wonderful, affordable investment in your own mental clarity, and honestly, it makes a beautiful, thoughtful gift for a friend or spouse. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you currently do word searches? Have you found them helpful? Or do you have another quiet, screen-free hobby that helps you stay sharp? Please share your experiences in the comments below. I read every single one, and your wisdom might just be exactly what someone else in our community needs to hear today. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Your time is precious, and I am honored you chose to share a few minutes of it here. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps our community grow and ensures we can keep having these important conversations. Until next time, remember, your mind is a beautiful garden. Keep tending to it, keep it peaceful, and it will continue to bloom brilliantly, no matter your age. Take care of yourselves.